Welcome back. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm your host, Rael Andrews, your 24/7 success coach, and my beautiful co-host is Deanna Miller with Stark Social. I want to make sure I remind you, because this is really, really cool, to make sure you download your KHTS app. It's free. It's great for iPhones, Android devices, and that way you can just always be keeping in touch with what we're doing in here, and we're always doing a bunch of great stuff.
So cool.
So, yeah, very cool. And I know you love that, being a social person. So where are we going next? What do we want to talk about next?
All right, so now that we've sort of started to touch on solving the great mystery that is the metabolism, that totally eluded me forever till I sat down and talked to you. I want to talk, we've already kind of touched a little bit about it. We talked about protein, we talked about carbs, but one of the things that I'm constantly seeing, like for example, I'm one of those people that I use my Groupon app a lot. I'm looking at all these deal sites. I get all these different things with fad diets. There's Atkins, there's a cleanse, there's this, there's that, 7 days to 10-pound weight loss. There's all these fad diets out there, and I was actually talking to a friend of mine yesterday about the diet that she's on right now, and it's basically eat a bunch of vegetables all day long and then have protein before bed. So those are the kinds of things that I know used to pop in my stream of thought, and it was like, okay, well, if I do this, the less I eat, the more I exercise. We already have established that's not a good idea. But when you're starting to talk to somebody about changing their eating habits, what are the things that you would recommend? Like when you're starting to create your meal plan for the day, and I used to make a lot of excuses. For example, I don't have the time. I'm on a budget. Those types of things were always popping into my head. What recommendations can you make to people who are starting to try and make those changes from, I buy the giant lasagna at Target because it's on sale and it goes in the freezer and then I can pop it in the oven an hour before everybody's hungry. What kinds of recommendations can you make that would be helpful?
Okay, great. And that's there's a lot of good stuff there. Let's just start with, you said it yourself several times, fads, diets. It's a fad for a reason. Okay, and diets to me is a four-letter bad word. That's setting you up for failure. You want to be on a lifestyle change that is something you can maintain. Most diets are so much in one direction. People can handle them for a little while, but they're just waiting to get done so they can go back. You want to change your life forever. There's a few key things that you can think about is, just making smart choices. There's this and that. There's some good things out there, but it's too much this way. I take a little bit from each other. You want to eat, a lot of vegetables, okay, are good. You want to eat some good lean proteins. You do need carbs, okay? Mm-hmm. I don't really eat whites or refines. I stay away from that stuff. I'm going to eat, quinoa and brown rice, black rice, sweet potatoes. I'm a huge I like to eat stuff raw, primarily because I'm lazy. I don't want to cook it, so I'll just eat that sweet potato raw. But it's actually better for you, You also hit on and it's a big, big myth and a misconception. I like to get up every morning around 3:30. I'm out, I do a 90-minute run, and it blows me away. 4:30, I kid you not, 4:30 in the morning, there's lineups to fast foods, restaurants. People lined up. To me, I see it like they're lining up to kill themselves because they think they can get a cheaper meal for their family, and it's absolutely not true. It may take a little work, but your body's worth it. You talked about it, the Groupon. My wife is a master. Wednesdays I believe is Vallarta's. There's another day and she waits, she gets those coupons, and she gets so excited, she comes home, I got $190 worth of stuff for $40. And I'm like, yes, because I know it's exciting for her.
I do that with Sprouts.
Sprouts is another one she goes to,
because you've got the Wednesday overlap at a lot of stores where you can get all the deals from like the week before and then the next week.
And you can get really creative. Now, and then the other thing is you want to be eating now you talked about I don't have time. Okay, well, we just talked about I don't have money. Well, that's no excuse. You can actually be creative and do very, very well. My wife's actually started shopping for people now, and it blows them away how much she gets them for cheap. And my wife likes it. The other thing is planning. People don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. You can do like in our house, I think Sunday, maybe Wednesday. I'd like to say it's me, but it's not. But my wife is masterful. She goes and cooks a bunch of chicken breasts, cooks up a bunch of sweet potatoes, this, that, packages it all up. It's there to go, because where we fail is there's not enough easily accessible protein, and there's a ton of bad carbs. So when you get in a pinch, you grab that, or you stop at that fast food or whatever. There's all these, like, you can get these little like cooler things where you can put your meals in there, put ice over them, take them with you as you go to work, because that's the key: making smarter choices, saving yourself money, and staying on track.
I think that's one of the things, a good point that you bring up is, since I started meal planning on a regular basis, I'll start my week or my 2 weeks, I'm saving so much more money than buying the box of mini muffins, and that's in the pantry, you know, instead of, let's chop up the vegetables and make sure they're available. Transitioning, and that's the thing too, as I think, is transitioning yourself into doing a little bit extra work to find those deals. I'm actually not spending as much at the grocery store, where I think a lot of people have that fear of, well, I'm going to spend more money because it's not, you know, a coupon or buy 2 for $5 or whatever it is. I think that's a great point that you make. Absolutely.
And you know, and one of the things I love that you do, Deanna, is you involve your kids. Or your kid, your monkey, you know, and you're absolutely right, because the kids are very smart, and I love how you incorporate him in your life, and he now becomes a very conscious shopper, because one of my biggest things I say, they will become who you are, and they're watching us. They're watching every move we make, and you know, you cannot say to them, don't do that as you're doing that over here, because you're their hero. And they're watching you, and they want to be everything that you can. So I love how you really, you know, bring them in like that.
Yeah, I don't go grocery shopping now without him, because he keeps me so accountable. He'll say, you know, 50% of shoppers, you know, don't, you know, buy things that aren't on their list, and he'll remind me. And it's so fun because I include him in that, and that's something that I learned from you and Michelle, that you guys incorporate your kids in it, and it's been so inspirational and so cool.
Yeah, and it's just really about choices. You know, recap once again, fast food is not the way. I'm telling you, you know, and, you know, reach out to me, you know, Facebook me if you need help with that, you know, facebook.com Rail Andrews, on Twitter at Rail Andrews. You know, I'll give you some suggestions, we'll send you some articles, because it's really about making smart choices, being consistent, right? Not one meal a day, not starving yourself, and just making, you know, we'll talk a little more about that after the break. So listen, you are listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. This is the BalaCore Fitness Show. I'm Rail Andrews, and this is Deanna Miller. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. This is BalaCore Fitness. I'm your host, Rail Andrews, your 24/7 success coach, and this is my beautiful co-host, Deanna Miller from Stark Social. Don't forget to download your free KHTS app. Very cool. It is free, and it works with the iPhones, Androids. I don't know who would get an Android, but, you know, it does work.
I have no idea.
I know. Who is that? Is there even people that use those things anymore?
No.
Anyway,
it's like
so this isn't a techie show. This is a fitness show. So
Wrong
what
show.
What are we going to talk about next?
Okay, so it's the BalaCore Fitness Show.
Yes.
So we should probably talk about BalaCore Fitness and some of the classes.
Absolutely.
I have just recently started, since you started training there, going to some of the classes, and I absolutely love the variety of classes. And the class that has become my jam, as I said on Facebook the other day, my jam is the BalaBoom class at 4:30 in the morning. That's right, people. I said 4:30 in the morning. And shout out to Kirk, who joins me every morning with a smile on his face. So let's talk about that class. We're in week 3. It's crazy intense, super fun. Where'd you get the inspiration for all the different moving parts that are BalaBoom?
Well, you know, I mean, that BalaBoom is just a combination of stuff that I've done over the past 30 years, stuff that I know that works and stuff that I like. I'm really into what is known in the fitness world confusion training, you know, keeping the body off, never giving it a chance to figure out what it's doing. As you know, every day is different with me. To be honest with you, the inspiration for BalaBoom actually came from Kirk Stinson. You know, I was out. I was retired, if you will. And then just when I thought I was retired, they dragged me back in. You know, and that was really Danny and Ellen, you know, needed a favor. You know, because I'll be honest with you, which I'm sure a lot of men do. You know, my wife's been to BalaCore for a long time, and I never went. And I don't believe I ever had a vision of going, because I saw it as a woman's thing. You know, that's that little BalaCore thing for women, you know. Well, let me tell you, man, I challenge you to come check out a BalaCore class, because it is very, very hard, and it's amazing. The Balaboom 4:30 a.m. is something I know there's a group of people out there, a big group. They like to get in, get a workout, get home. You know, they are the hardcore people. I really enjoy that class, because you got to imagine, not everybody, not the average Joe gets up at 4:30 in the morning to go take a class. It takes a different breed of person. And you know, we get after it, we mix it up. We've got, you know, strength training, we've got, you know, boxing, we've got spinning, we've got running, you know, and now what I'm really quickly just so excited about, I'm just, as much as I can, I include that BalaCore, because to me that is just the most amazing tool I've seen in my 52 years of life. It really is. You know, every now and then you find something new, but I mean, I just love it.
No, it's scary amazing. I think when I first saw it, I thought, oh, that's neat. And then you stuck me on it, and I just, it takes a minute to figure out the confusion that's occurring with your core and your leg strength. And today we were working out on it, doing a lot of ab stuff, and trying to do sit-ups on that is just even a challenge.
It's crazy.
I mean, we were working out before the BalaCore, and I was able to do those 100 sit-ups, no problem. Just today, it was like, oh gosh, I'm halfway there. Can I be done? Because you've got to keep your balance, and you've got to hold yourself in, and you're really starting to work muscles that you didn't know existed. And I've seen a difference in the product that is my core. It's amazing. We do boxing, we do cycling, we get outside a little bit and do.
Now we don't cycle on the BalaCore.
Oh, I'm sorry, we spin. Not on the BalaCore, but they have bikes there.
Yeah, no, I'm just joking.
We could cycle on the.
I might try to figure out a way. That might.
We could.
If we put them on that.
That's something Ellen needs to invent next.
Yeah, I think, you know what, maybe we'll try that. But you know what? Seriously, I remember when I first started training there, because they did initially bring me in for spinning, teaching the spinning classes,
right,
which is, you know, one of my things I love. And I remember going in there going, why do they not have any mats in this gym? Because when I wanted to do sit-ups and stuff, I was looking for those little mats.
I remember that, yeah.
And it was baffling to me. And then I figured out the BalaCore
is the mat.
And it's really amazing. And, you know, we have a couple other classes that I do. One I'm really, really excited about is Gospel Spin on Sunday mornings from 7:30 to 8:30. It's gospel-based music, but don't be fooled. It's an amazing workout.
No, it totally is.
Yeah.
I love it. I had previously not liked spin class until I experienced it at BalaCore. It's a totally different vibe there, and there's a lot of other classes too. Like there's the kickboxing, circuit training,
and like you said at the beginning, the coaches, you know, I was just sharing this with the class last night. I love it when you can walk into a gym, and I get it. People get their favorite teacher, and they get this and that. Well, they shouldn't, because they should just show up. In fact, they should show up and go take a different teacher's class on purpose, because you're going to get better anyways. You know, we get comfortable with people, and one thing I love about BalaCore, all the instructors are phenomenal. There isn't and I love, which works right into what we've been talking about. At first, once again, you know, when I was like, whoa, this is kind of a weird format. They got one class backed up right against another. There's another in here. But now I see what they're doing, and it's really fits into what I love, total confusion. And you can really go in there, maximize, get some strength training, go in to do some cardio, you know, and the thing, you're constantly working your core, which we'll talk more about that. But, you know, and then we've got circuit training there. And now we're going to do some personal shout-out challenges to people for the 4:30 a.m. class. I'm shouting out, challenging my wife, Michelle Andrews, to show up.
She hasn't been yet?
No.
Not since I haven't seen her since. Oh.
She talks about it every night. Oh, I gotta go. Let me go. And I come home, she sleeps. Trina Light. Let's see. Carlin Bernardo. You know, who else we can challenge? Nathan, I'm off. Let's see if we can get him in a class. But I really challenge you guys, come on down. It's great classes. It will change your life. We have a lot of fun. And you know what I love about BalaCore, on a quick note, is we talked about that purpose, that why. As an instructor, because it's a family boutique kind of place, I can get to know people, and when I know their why, that's why they say, why is he asking me so many questions? Because I'm getting tools when I'm going to come up and whisper in your ear when I see you wanting to quit. And then all of a sudden you're like pedaling harder. What
Right.
did you do? I just tapped into your why. So with that said, hey, you are listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. This is the BalaCore Fitness Show. I'm Rael Andrews, and this is Deanna Miller. We'll be right back.